What's going on, everyone? Dr. Matt Claggett from Waller Family Gonstead Chiropractic. Now, as Gonstead chiropractors, we are trained to look at the body as a whole, meaning how all the structures interplay, relate, and work with each other to really see where the breakdowns in that system are occurring. How can we work on correcting things at the root cause, as well as helping stabilize the structure so your body can heal optimally, work functionally, as well as not break down again in the future. Now, that being said, we are trained in things called extremities. Extremities meaning shoulder problems, elbow problems, wrist problems, knee problems, ankle problems. We also have the training to look to see what issues are happening there, and more importantly, what we can do to help correct those issues there as well. Now, as Gonstead chiropractors, we look to the root cause. We check the spine to make sure that the nerves that are running out of those different nerve channels, regulating those muscles, are working strong. Because if that nerve is working strong, those muscles that stabilize that joint are working strong as well. But if that nerve flow is getting pinched off and it's weak, then those muscles are going to be weak, and that's going to lead to joint problems as well. So we always take a look from things from both ends. But there are a lot of times where we do need to actually work on places like the knees, the ankles. So I'm going to show you a little bit more about what we can do and how we work on helping correct different issues in those extremities. Hey everyone, so now we're going to be talking about the elbow. So the elbow is primarily made up of three different bones. You have your humerus, which is the bone right here in the whole part of the arm, but then you have your forearm that's actually made up of two different bones, the radius and the ulna. So essentially, if I were to hold my arm right here, this is what would be making up my elbow right here. So when we look at the actual joint of the elbow, what happens here is essentially it's a hinge joint. So we look at this part and it should be bending and sitting in there nice and normal. But what also happens is there's a spinning component in which allows us to have our wrist turn, and this joint right here should be able to freely move. But what can happen is if you fall on an outstretched arm, or maybe it's something you did tennis or baseball, softball, something that really put a lot of stress on that joint, allowing that joint to become rigid, rusty is kind of what I like to call it, or maybe it's just completely misaligned, what can happen is that joint's not going to work properly. It can lead to a lot of chronic things like achiness, soreness. Sometimes you can even get that burning and numbness if it stays there long enough. So not only do we look as Gonstead chiropractors at the source to see if there's anything coming from the spine, those nerves are not regulating those muscles properly, allowing those joints to stay in their proper position. We can also work specifically on that joint to work on helping that healing holistically, naturally, preventing and avoiding any unnecessary surgeries, use of drugs, or injections. So if that's something you've been experiencing and you're wanting to either prevent that from getting worse or you want to prevent it from happening overall, give our office a call, 972-722-0054. We can work on finding a hands-on solution for you today. So take care. Talk to you soon.